My name is Robert Rico, California Realty Training. Thank you for coming to this week's video blog. Let's see what we have in store for you today. Today we're going to talk about how we can make your transaction a lot easier by the help of a transaction coordinator. Now first off, what the hell is a transaction coordinator? Let me explain. Ready? I want to back it up a little bit. Pump the brakes and let's see what we can do here. Let's assume you represent a seller or a buyer. I don't care, either one. You represent a client. You have a client, a principal. You represent one of these two people. And you open a transaction. Yeah, your offer got accepted. You open an escrow. You open an escrow, right? Seller signs contracts. Buyer signs a contract. You have now a legal and binding contract, right? So now you got this contract, this baby that you created, right? You got to get somebody to babysit it, right? So you got this baby you created. It's got its own DNA, its own official contract, its own details, its own stipulations, its own negotiations. So you got this baby you created with its own DNA. And you take it over to the escrow office and you say, hello, escrow office, would you mind babysitting this transaction? And they do, and then escrow takes care of business and they make sure every stipulation is met, right? Every stipulation in the contract is met. That's what their job is to do. So now, escrow opens, boom, the gun goes off, the race begins like a horse race. Every day is important. Real estate 101, time is what? Yeah, time is of the essence, right? So every day is important. So now you got these contracts and you got a whole bunch of paperwork that's gonna be involved in this transaction. From day one, you're gonna have a whole bunch of paperwork, a lot, involved in this transaction, starting with the RPA. Now what's the RPA? Residential Purchase Agreement. The offer. So you got the offer. You got to submit that to escrow. You got to have disclosures. You got to have inspections. You got to time is of the essence. Things have to be done in a timely fashion. Everything's got to be official. Well, you're too busy as an agent. You should be too busy going out there making more babies, meaning getting more clients. Got it? You don't typically want to spend too much time with this paperwork. Let's get somebody else to do it. And I don't mean your teenage daughter, your teenage son. We want to get an official person who can actually handle all these legal documents. That's where a transaction coordinator comes in. The transaction coordinator makes the real estate agent's life so much easier. I mean, it really does. Transaction coordinator typically is a person who has a real estate license, and their job is solely to get these documents and make sure everybody who's supposed to sign them, review them, submit them, whatever it takes, make sure they're all done, make sure they're all signed, which is fantastic. It allows the real estate agent not having to go out and chase signatures. Are you kidding? You know how hard it is to get signatures signed by whether it's the seller, the buyer, or both? So what's the first thing the transaction coordinator does when that gun does go off and escrow opens? The transaction coordinator, they're going to handle everything. They get your RPA. They get that contract, they get that offer. They're gonna review it, make sure everything is okay to protect you. Your own transaction coordinator, you hire them as, it's almost like a mechanic for your car. You're gonna hire a mechanic to kick the tires, to check the engine. You're gonna hire a transaction coordinator to review all your documents, to make sure all your documents, disclosures, the RPA, everything. Make sure everything is done appropriately. They're your second set of eyes. So while you're out there running around trying to find more clients to make more what? Yeah, make more commission. You're gonna have this transaction coordinator handle all the paperwork. And another important thing that they do, which is crucial, is they're the ones that are gonna communicate with your client. You with me? They're on your team. It's gonna be you, your transaction coordinator, and your client. This is huge because when you're not available to speak to your client or answer questions for your client, your transaction coordinator is there on your behalf. You see, your transaction coordinator is so thorough. I mean, they're completely thorough with this entire transaction. And when it comes to paperwork, if your client has any questions or if they're missing any documents, or there's a timeline that they have to meet, your transaction coordinator will make everybody alert, make everybody aware that, hey, we got to get this done by this date. For example, let's assume you're in a deal, right? We all know that on the 17th day, just so if you don't know this, you're going to learn it today. On the 17th day of the escrow, day 17, all contingencies must be removed. Now we talked about contingencies. All contingencies must be removed. Day 17 is when the buyer signs saying, hey, I agree to purchase this house. I'm full speed ahead. It is the point of no return. I'm not going to change my mind. And if I do change my mind, I may lose my deposit. So day 17 is crucial. Now you have a transaction coordinator who's keeping an eye and every single day on behalf of the realtor to make sure everything is covered properly. So come day 17, what does your transaction coordinator do? Your transaction coordinator is make sure that document, that contingency removal is signed by the buyer. So we all are aware, everybody involved in this transaction is aware that we're at the point of no return. Come day 17, contingencies are removed, safety net is over, no mas. We got to move forward and close this deal. That's a great day for everybody. Now, we haven't closed a deal yet, but we have an idea, we have an inkling, we have a direction. We know we're going full throttle ahead. With me? We know we're going full throttle ahead come day 17 and everybody signs this contingency removal. And who's the one that handled it? Typically, your transaction coordinator. While you're out there meeting people, networking, meeting clients, doing all that other stuff, making more babies, making more deals, and putting them in escrow. You're too busy to handle paperwork. I'm sure you might want to learn the paperwork. Doesn't mean you have to handle it. You got it? Hope this helps you. Transaction coordinators, what do they typically charge? Transaction coordinators typically charge, I don't know, anywhere from $300 to $500 per transaction. That's it. That's all they charge. So let's assume you're going to have a deal for $1 million. Do the math. A $1 million deal, and you're going to get 3% on it. It's $30,000. You give the broker his piece, you're going to walk away with $25,000. Are you telling me a $300 charge or a $400 charge or a $500 charge for a transaction coordinator isn't worth it? Are you kidding me? Of course it is. So when you're ready to do your first transaction, listen to me carefully. When you're ready to do your first transaction, as much as you want to learn the gig, as much as you want to learn the documents, as much as you want to be familiar with the transaction and its paperwork, do yourself a favor, huh? Protect everybody in your corner by hiring a transaction coordinator. I guarantee it, you won't regret it. Tony Robbins, who's a great motivator, if you don't know Tony Robbins, once said this: complexity is the enemy to execution. Think about that. Complexity is the enemy to execution, which means you want everything simple. You want to make your life simple? Get yourself a transaction coordinator.